I couldn't say, give me the bread. I'd have to say, please may pass the bread, we were taught very strict manners. We were brought up very strictly. And with that in mind, it's come into the business. You've got to be polite. You've got to be courteous. You've got to look after the people.
Wow, that's amazing. And what are your thoughts on servant leadership? Do you think the customers, employees, the business are more important than you because without them there's no business? Or do you think you're more important than the business and everyone else that works in it and buys from it? So on the 5th of April, we've got the It's More Than Just Money Business and Property Seminar at the Royal Marang Hotel in Rustenburg. I did say that our commitment is to find phenomenal people that have built businesses, getting them in rooms with you so that you and I can learn as much as we can from them. Part of it is having them sit down, have interviews like this one with us and share their journey so that we can grasp from it. So on the 5th of April, please find your tickets on web tickets and I'll see you in Rustenburg. So looking at navigating the retail and business landscape, right? Retail has faced many disruptions, especially with e-commerce. You mentioned Amazon earlier on.
Yeah.
You know, how has Hirsch's remained relevant in this digital age?
Mainly with younger people. Because, the youngsters think differently to the way I do, the way my wife does. And fortunately, we got younger children as well, but they're in their 40s now, so they're not that young anymore. But yeah, you've got to get advice. You don't know everything. You ask, what do you think you do? You go to seminars. We've been to so many seminars. We read so many books about business, about life.
You're attending seminars as well?
Yeah, plenty. And although I can't read, I've read so many books because I fill in the gaps. I follow the story,
yes,
but I can't read to my grandchildren. I tell them stories, but I can't read to them. And I read so many books. It's
Wow. So what are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from competing in the South African market?
Well, as I said, customer comes first. Keep the money in the business. Look after your team members. It's not rocket science. If you try to reinvent the wheel, it's still going to go round.
Mm-hmm. And how do you believe the future of brick and mortar retail in a world dominated by online, right?
Mm.
Do you think brick and mortar retail is something that's going to keep being needed over the years?
Absolutely. Depends what industry you're in, but in our industry, definitely. You can buy a fridge online, you can buy a washing machine online, but when you come in and the salesperson asks you what your specific requirements are, how many in the family, do your kids play sport, have you got any health problems, and they guide you to a product that you want. You don't get it online. I mean, online you see the product, you see the price. That looks good. It's in my price range, and you buy it. What happens when it goes wrong? That's where our strength is. Our service is, the business was built on service. So in our particular industry, I really believe that brick and mortar is going to be here forever.
Yeah. What you just said just prompted a question. AI related, how they say artificial intelligence is going to replace people. Do you think that would happen in your industry?
Possibly.
I mean, you just explained that.
It's possible.
I don't imagine a robot, perhaps maybe, explaining, do your kids go to school? Do they play sports? What sort of fridge would work in your household?
I think it definitely will give you a guideline.
Yes.
But then you want to actually see the product. You want to touch it. And, there's some machines that look beautiful today and other machines which look as beautiful, but you open the door and it goes squeak, and you open the other door and it's clong. It's a proper, like a good car door closing. And you think to yourself, well, that's why there's 2,000 Rand difference in the price. And you don't get that online. You've got to open the door, close the door, feel inside, look at the shelves.
So it's important to experience the product yourself.
Maybe I'm a bit biased, but I believe so.
So I know you love South Africa. You've said so
Absolutely.
yourself. You even said that you've concentrated all efforts to build business within SA. When you look at South Africa, how do you see the business landscape evolving then in the next 5 to 10 years?
It's going to have its challenges, but with it, there's opportunities. I love this country. I believe in this country. I believe the opportunities here are outgoing away all the challenges. And
Now, when we look at what you and Margaret have built, I mean, it's an incredible business, and you've contributed so much to the community. What motivates you beyond the business success?
in what, looking after the community or?
So, I mean, obviously, you already look after the community.
Correct, yeah.
You already have a successful business. The motivation
For
you,
tomorrow.
Yes.
We've got young people in our business. I've got 5 grandsons. I'd really love them. The ones in grade 11 this year, others in grade 3. I'd really love them to come into the business and keep the business going into the next generation. It's in the 2nd generation. I'd love it to go into the 3rd generation. And I've sat down with them and I told them our story so they understand our culture. My little grandson had a talk at school the other day and he told the family history, which I thought, wow. I mean, you don't get grandkids talking about their grandparents at school these days. In a business world, they might say my grandfather bought me a lollipop or whatever, but, he told a family story, which is fantastic.
And how, I mean, that speaks to mentorship. I mean, you want to transfer skills, you want to transfer knowledge through stories. How important is mentorship to you? And what role did it play in your business philosophy?
Huge, because the person you see here today is not the person that started the business. I've learned so much from other people. We've been to America, to England, to watch powerful motivate. Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins, yes.
Yeah, we've been to him 3 times. It's phenomenal to learn from people like that. Jim Rohn. We do the motivation talks every single day at work, and you get ideas, from people. Jim Rohn's my favorite saying. He says, "You can't change winter, but you can change yourself."
Yes.
And it's when you start saying the problem's over there, the problem's over there, the problem's normally here, within you, and if you can fix